What group of people is most likely to end up with young fostered children? White homosexuals and lesbians. Go do the research. They're the ones raising our children. I just read an article last week. A rainbow couple was foster parenting 2 or 3 black kids. They sexually abused them. I'm not going to say everybody would do this, but it happened. They sexually abused both black boys, and then they sold them out to be raped by others. This was last week's news. And black people, before you start oohing and eyeing and acting like you care about black kids so much, if we love our own so much, can somebody tell me why black people have the lowest intra-rate foster care placement percentage? Do you know we're the least likely to foster our own black kids? And you wonder why they on the streets killing each other? How they going to show love when they ain't never felt love? Do you remember when you was a child, for those of you over 40? Remember if Mike's mom was out on the corner turning tricks, or if John's dad got locked up for selling bricks, your mama, your grandmama, somebody would go get the kids out the house. They didn't call DHS. They didn't call the social worker. They didn't call the police. They said, get your school books, get your clothes. I don't know where your mother at. I don't know when she coming back. I don't know where your father at. I don't know when he coming back. But I want you to know something right now. Until they come back, and if they never come back, you are part of my family now. How many of us was raised by black parents who refused to give up on children that they did not birth themselves? You know how many of us made it through life because another family cared? The school never knew. Your parents was nowhere around. When report card conferences came, Miss Nana stood in. When the school trip came up, Mr. Johnny paid for that school trip. And the white folks was like, when are we going to see their parents? They're working. We got this. And the next thing you know, you done graduated and nobody knew that you was without your biologicals for most of your life. When are we going to get back to the village, Black Baltimore? I know one thing. Children don't kill people who care about them. Children kill strangers. When I'm training teachers in the school, you know, the white teachers and some of the black coonish teachers, most black teachers are wonderful, but some of them are some damn coons. And they say, Dr. Umar, what am I supposed to do? He's cursing me out. He's throwing the desk. Have you ever had a face-to-face, one-on-one meeting with that young man? But I don't really have time. I didn't ask you if you had time. You're complaining about how uncontrolled he is. Have you ever sat him down and had a respectable dialogue for 5 minutes? Did you ever make a connection with that boy? That's why it's so easy for him to disrespect you. That's why it's so easy for him to destroy your classroom, because there's no connection for respect. Let me tell you a little secret. If you take out 5 minutes of your day, sit down with that young man, give him an apple, give him a banana, and laugh and joke, ask him about his life, his home, tell him how much you believe in him, he may never get suspended another day in your class. But you know what the problem with public school in Baltimore is? Public school teachers think they're college professors now. What do I mean when I say public school teachers think they're college professors? For those of you who teach college, you understand that you're not expected to have a relationship with your college students. You're not expected to care personally about your college students. You're not expected to ask them about their home life. It's a business relationship. You pay for a class, I teach. If you don't like the way I teach, that's too bad. If you don't like how low my voice is, that's too bad. If I'm moving too quickly through the syllabus, that's too bad. But grade school is not supposed to be that way. In grade school, the teacher is supposed to cater to the needs of the child. They don't do that no more because they don't care about the black children. And guess what? Our black parents aren't too much different yourselves. See, black children don't drop out of school until black parents stop dropping into school. Show me a black kid who dropped out, I'll show you a black parent who never dropped in. If a black child got a good teacher and a horrible parent, he will still make it. If you got a good parent and a horrible teacher, you will still make it. If you have a great parent and a great teacher, you will make it. But if you have a horrible teacher and a disconcerted parent, you guaranteed to fail. And that's what's wrong with so many black children. We got teachers who don't care and parents who couldn't care less. And that's why if I was in charge of education, I wish I could be U.S. Secretary of Education for 1 year. Joe Biden, you crazy old geezer, give me the Secretariat of Education for 1 year. Let me tell you what I would do, y'all, if I was in charge. Because the white folks down the street in D.C., they keep acting like they don't know how to fix this. So let me tell you how they can change the whole thing in a year. First thing I'm going to do, the percentage of black teachers in a school will be identical to or greater than the percentage of black children in the school. No school in America will you have mostly black kids and mostly white teachers. Hell no. And then some of y'all saying, well, what color got the, see, you still cooning. What color? What color? If a teacher can teach, a teacher can teach. Let me explode that myth on 3 grounds. Let's go to the research. Because y'all don't listen to me, but y'all will listen to some white research. According to the white research, teachers pay more attention to children who look like their own. So if teachers pay more attention to the children who look like their own, if your son and daughter don't look like Steph Curry, they might not get no attention. No disrespect to my light-skinned Africans, we one family. I'm just saying that how when white folks are involved, there's a color hierarchy at play. And the reason why a lot of the black boys are struggling is because their skin is too dark and their hair is too nappy. You don't believe me? Walk into any school in Baltimore that offers a mentally gifted program. I want you to go look at the color of the mentally gifted students. Then I want you to go down the hall to the emotionally disturbed class. Look at the color of the students in the emotionally disturbed class. I've never been to a school in my life where the emotionally disturbed students weren't at least 5 shades darker than the mentally gifted students. Teachers care about black kids who look like white kids. And sometimes they don't even get the love. Number 2, the most predictive factor on a child's success in school is not poverty, is not their parents being married, is not whether they qualify for free or reduced lunch, it's not how much money the school gets or the teacher's salary. The number 1 factor that influences academic achievement is how much does the teacher believe in the children. Did y'all hear what I just said? Teacher belief will manifest itself in the classroom. You wonder why black kids is failing, because you got white people in charge. And I'm not going to beat up on the white women. I'm not going to disrespect the snow bunnies. And I'm going to get to you Negroes who like dating snow bunnies in a minute. I'm going to get to you in 1 minute. See, I'm trying to understand. With all the problems that Black Baltimore got, we got police brutality. Rest in peace to Freddie Gray. We got unemployed Black folks. We got poverty in Baltimore. We got gentrification in Baltimore. We got economic apartheid in Baltimore. And with all these problems we fighting racism through, you Negroes still found time in the middle of a war to go snow bunny shopping. How in the hell, with all our kids being miseducated, how in the hell all these Black boys with no daddy, how all these single mothers raising multiple kids, how does the Black man find time to go snow bunny shopping? And the reason you want the white woman is because your low self-esteem, your racial self-hatred, your animosity towards your mother's womb has forced you to seek approval from the very woman who was responsible for our women being beat, raped, and sold off on the plantation. And some of you coons think that the white woman who sleeps with the Black man is less racist than the white women who don't. There is no difference between a jungle fever snow bunny or an all Caucasoid snow bunny. They all racist. And you know what really upsets me when I see a brother with a bunny? When I'm walking through the airport and I see a brother with a bunny, if there's a Black woman walking anywhere near him and his European queen, right? Have you sisters noticed? He will go out of his way to ignore your existence. Black women, have you seen this? He won't even look in the direction of the woman who gave him his life. I see it all day long. He got to prove to this white woman that she's the greatest thing on earth until you end up like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods' snow bunny was a house servant. She's a billionaire now because he went and got him some African cookies. And because he went home to Africa, he lost half of his money. Look at Bill Cosby, my North Philadelphia elder, shame. He thought because he was so rich and famous, he can do what white rich and famous men can do. He started sampling cookies all over the city. Irish cookies, Italian cookies. And then Bill Cosby all of a sudden decides he wants to buy a major network. And they said, we can't have that. Call up them white girls. And then the second largest oil company in the world found out Bill Cosby had oil under his Massachusetts home. And they said, Bill and Camille, can we drill? They said, no. And then Bill and Camille organized all the homeowners, Black and white, in their community. Don't let them drill. And the white man said, I got to get this oil. Cosby won't give me the oil. So they went and found all the snow bunnies. And they had a snow bunny conference on Bill Cosby. And they said, all you nasty, crusty, wrinkly bunnies are going to publicly say he attacked and assaulted you. I don't care what you say, and I don't trivialize violence against women because Black women are the worst victims of it. I want to be clear. But you're not going to convince me. Bill Cosby, the #1 television personality, Black, in the world at the time, sexually assaults you, sexually harasses you, sexually offends you. He's the #1 television star in the country, the first black man to have his own miniseries on TV, paved the way for the greatest comedian of all time, Richard Pryor. Bill Cosby was Denzel on steroids back in the 70s and 80s. And he harasses all these white women who benefit from snow bunny privilege. And they don't say a word, not a whisper. They wait 30, 40 years till they old and nasty looking. And once they get 3 chins, they want to go public and tell the world, Cosby assaulted me 40 years ago. You out your mind. That was nothing but the drug company. You think R. Kelly in jail for touching children? You don't think the music company knew about R. Kelly's unhealthy sexual fantasies? That ain't why R. Kelly in jail. He should be, but that ain't why he's in there. R. Kelly doesn't get locked up until he starts questioning ownership of his master recordings. R. Kelly don't get locked up until he hears some of his unpublished music on the radio that he never authorized. R. Kelly don't get locked up until Sony Records ends up with a part of his catalog that he never signed away. The pedophilia was the cover. The real reason was the music. Why is Whitney Houston dead? You think it's because of drugs? The coroner said Whitney Houston's body was in water so hot. The water was so hot that no human being could force themselves to remain submerged in it. That's the coroner. So if the coroner said Whitney Houston could not have stayed in that bathtub on her own free will, that means somebody helped her drown. And can somebody tell me why the Beverly Hills Hilton, one of the most popular hotels in the world, never reviewed the hallway video footage